Hello there, Internet.
Olita.
Shit.
There we go.
Look at that.
Now we need to kill the volume here. Boom, boom. Shots.
Hell yeah. Cheers to you.
Another tequila shot. We just finished Sometimes We Fight. I always fuck that up.
Damn. Damn. Oh, yeah.
Opening up with some tunes. Chris's tunes in the background.
Many years old, I may add.
Should be louder. Oh well, good enough. So we're just gonna shoot the shit for a little bit, talk nonsense, see what comes up. I'm interested in Chris's ideologies or like what he believes. I don't find many people in my social circle are very like in tune with worldly affairs, worldly matters, politics, any shit like that. So it's interesting to hear Chris's opinion on shit. And we touched on it a little bit on the last episode of Sometimes We Fight about universal basic income, some shit like that. The EU banning memes, all that chatter. So I guess like what's a good starting point for how you feel or what you think or like what's your political standpoint or political beliefs, and then we can just go wherever the fuck the conversation takes us.
Sure. I think most people are frustrated and confused where their standpoint is, aka Joe Rogan. Doesn't know where he stands. He tries to play both sides and like ride this wave. Doesn't know where he stands. And I have this like maybe you could say it's an egotistical thing, but I like to say the new American dream is a world without government. Getting rid of it completely. And that's all I talk about all the time. Like for me it's like a pure form of libertarianism.
I like that. So like I was gonna say, what role, if any, do you think government should play? But you think it should have zero?
No role. Yeah. No, I don't think any level of government intervention has helped ever. Like I get confused that people still think it does.
Right. I guess it made sense because you need some sort of organization. In the past we did. I don't know if it changes over time. Like, don't you think governance structures change a little bit over time as our intelligence changes and as our social systems change? Like maybe we needed more governance in the past when things were more chaotic. And then we evolved to a certain point and then we don't need it anymore.
To a certain level, yeah. Like when you look at the Constitution, it's basically restricting government.
Right.
Like at every level. And we should definitely keep that. That's the weird part. Like the world couldn't imagine itself without monarchies and kings ruling. And then here comes America. We're like, fuck you. We're born on revolution,
Democracy.
and defiance.
Democracy.
If you look at it, I think we're more a constitutional republic than a democracy.
What would be the
So
difference?
they say.
Full disclosure, I'm like really ignorant, but I think I have a good way of playing with ideas, so I can keep up a little bit. But like, what would be the difference between like a democracy and a republic?
I think like the Constitution establishes like the republic. I guess for America, it's simple. Like you're not gonna take our guns, kind of thing. Like as soon as you do that, you fucked up. It's not a democracy anymore. So I think it's just kind of in the rules. Once you cross those rules, it's no longer a democracy, for sure. But for me, I think a democracy is a lot of time illusion of choice. Everybody's thinking they're making a difference by voting and, you know, whatever. You want to fucking give yourself a little pat on the back. I voted. Good job.
Yeah, so like to me, voting doesn't seem to have an effect, but because of the electoral college thing, which we talked about a little bit as well, like I think the electoral college thing is a bit corrupt now, because even if a populace within a certain region votes one way, the leaders of that region can switch the vote, right? They don't listen to what their people want, right? You can have 65% of a populace of a certain region vote one way, and the leaders, the electoral college can still vote the other way, right?
I think the electoral college is just like the percentage.
Because the popular vote is bullshit, right?
It's like, okay, the percentage of this state, but if you get rid of that, then you're just doing the majority. That's why I say it's just, you're just going to end up with California, New York, because they have the highest population.
But there's still way more people elsewhere, right? In all the other states. Right?
Pretty much, but
like, you're right.
It outweighs it.
There's a majority.
And it's only Democrats saying this.
There is a majority of population within New York and California because it's a concentrated area. But overall, the population is spread everywhere, right? Because, see, here's my knowledge. Here's how I understand it. Thank you, public education system, for cutting corners. However many people exist within a certain region, you get more votes. So California and New York would have higher votes because there's a greater population there, right?
Yes.
But from what I understand is, even if the population votes one way, it can still be overturned by, I guess, what, Congress?
I think it, what does it go to?
Because it's the electoral college vote, right?
I think the electoral is the final one, right? Then there's like the popular vote and all that.
Yeah, I'm stupid and I'm sorry for
being
being
we're both fucking stupid. It's all good, man. We don't know everything. I will bring that up again. We don't like easy answers, and we bask in the mystery of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm psychedelic by nature, so like I'm trying to bring myself down to these methods of social structures. So like, from what I understand, the popular vote is what everybody goes to do at the voting booth, but that doesn't really have an effect on the outcome of a presidential election, right? Popular vote doesn't mean anything, which it should. Shouldn't it mean everything? No?
I don't know. I just want to roll my eyes on the whole damn thing. Fuck.
Okay, so let's scrap that. What do you think is the best form of government to your knowledge as of today? Like, how should we be running people?
I guess America has had a few libertarian governments that you wouldn't remember their name because they didn't do shit, and that's the way it should be. Like, just left you alone. And Adam Kokesh, I guess he's a runner-up as in the Libertarian Party, and he just wants to dissolve government. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we fucking need. Get rid of government.
So what does that look like? How do we run things when government is dissolved? Because that's a radical change. All we know is the system we've had since the inception of the country. So what does that look like?
Exactly. What does that look like? It wouldn't change much. We would still have the free market. We would have what they call voluntarism. Like, everything will sort itself out because that's the way we want it anyway. And I guess the major argument is, like, if you say, oh, if we didn't have government, then who's gonna build the roads? Like, fuck. The free market will build it. The people who want the roads, delivery people, shipping and receiving people, anybody who uses the roads for money is gonna fucking fund the roads. Same with security and police. Like, a lot of people try to tell me, oh, how are poor people gonna afford that? It's just included in your bill. Just like we pay for water, electricity, and all that crap. Mm-hmm. You live in a fucking apartment with all utilities paid, same thing. You're paying for security in your region. I think it's just gonna come with all that.
Yeah, I like opt-in systems. So like, a lot of people go to McAfee who wants to like run shit on cryptocurrency, and they go like, if we don't have government collecting taxes, because Bitcoin is a threat to tax collection, if we don't have government collecting taxes to do shit, how do we, get things done like schools and roads and shit? And he was saying that everything is opt-in. So if you want to use the roads, then you opt to pay. But if you don't want to use the roads, then you don't have to. So like, everything would be opt-in. I like that.
Yeah, voluntarism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally fuck it. If you want it, you're gonna get it.
Right.
Yeah, I love McAfee. I think he doesn't have much of an understanding of like the anarcho-capitalism thing, but for sure, totally a libertarian.
He's a
candidate.
loon. He's very much like our Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, I love that reference too. Yeah, I've even commented on his page. You're like Hunter S. Thompson. He's hilarious. Oh, is he still out there in the ocean in international waters fighting?
he could be dead for all we know.
What a G.
He is a G.
Shout outs to McAfee. We
Dude,
love you.
Like, it sucks to see people be self-destructive, but that motherfucker, like, takes all the drugs, does all the crazy shit, doesn't give a fuck. He's riding his, like, body straight into the rocks. And he's, like, over 70, so it's weird to see, like, an old-ass man just going hard with the fucking drugs.
It's the best.
I love it.
I do too.
And yeah, he's liberally minded. He's running for president, but he tells everybody not to vote for anyone.
That is a dividing element of the libertarian movement, is whether to vote or not. And I guess, you know, a lot of people hate Alex Jones. He's a libertarian. And he believes in like infiltrating the government and fixing it from within, like taking it over from within. So I can kind of side with that. Like, so that's why I kind of think, all right, maybe you should vote for somebody who will dissolve the government.
Yeah.
Or tear it down. Of course, Alex Jones is siding too much with Trump and all that, but he's just a news guy, so it's whatever.
I think
he's just kind of counteract the bullshit narratives, which is plenty. It's a lot of material to work off of.
That was like, I used to be an avid listener for like a long time. I'm 31 now, so like when I was like 20, all the way through till when I was like 26, 27, 28. And then when Trump ran, he got behind Trump like a motherfucker. And that was like a shock to me. I didn't understand that move. I was like,
yeah, I think it shocked a lot of people. Shit hit the fan for
I was like, what? That's when I stopped listening. I was like, what? Like, how are you like gung-ho 100% behind this guy? Like,
blew my mind too. Like, what the fuck? Didn't make any sense to me. I thought it was all a joke when Trump said he was running, and all of a sudden Alex Jones is behind him. And I paid some attention. I mean, I guess it goes beyond, you know, the rhetoric, and of course it's easy to listen to Trump and be like, what the fuck, shut up. But it's all about what he's doing. So I guess the first year, yeah, I got kind of suckered in with Alex Jones. I was like, yeah, Trump was not so bad, blah blah blah. Mainly because the repealing Obamacare thing. I thought that was great. Like, what the fuck? Like, you just destroyed free market healthcare in America.
because Obamacare was government based healthcare?
Yes, and the evil word for left wings, socialism. It's socialist healthcare. It's government trying to take over the fucking means of distribution.
And that's dangerous because they have the power, right?
Yeah, and that's why I disagree with it. And all the premiums for everyone went up. If you made $17,000 a year and didn't have health care, then you would get fined. You would get taxed. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is hurting people directly. And I get in a lot of conversations or arguments with people on Twitter and on the internet about it. And it's a common theme with left-wingers that just say, I fucking disagree, and then run away. They don't want to acknowledge anything that I'm saying. They just say, you're an idiot, and fucking run away.
Yeah, no public debate.
I'm like, come on, man. Try to change my fucking mind here. And then they want to say that I'm the one that's like trying to get people into a cult or something. What? I'm just trying to have a fucking conversation. That's it. It's so easy to have a healthy conversation. So, a lot of time easier in person.
Yeah. So Trump is repealing Obamacare, right? That's like fresh.
He's been trying, and then McCain shot it down. McCain said, yeah, I support repealing it. And then on the last minute.
And so the effects of that will be that it'll go back to the free market. and then companies can compete to offer coverage.
It would. Exactly. And I keep trying to tell people, hey man, just repealing it in general is infinitely better than replacing it with something else. I don't know what kind of plan these fools are talking about. I'd rather not have one. Fuck the plan as far as I'm concerned. Leave the government out of it. Free market will strive. It'll be infinitely better. We'll have more incentive to have better doctors and all this shit.
Right, because through competition for business, naturally you want to appeal to what people will want. So like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Missed it.
But yeah, oh, god damn it. Obamacare, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I'm sorry. It's not that it's socialism, it's just that it's dependence on government, and it ruined free market, which is the basis of this country. We were a capitalist country. So it made everything so awesome. Like, why abandon that? I guess is my argument.
Right.
Why give that up? We're not 100% capitalist. Sure, like every country is involved in capitalism as long as they're involved in the free market. Like Japan, perfect example, selling us all their Hondas and PlayStations.
So like, check this, like maybe going a little bit more meta with it. Greed drives companies, right? A company is like an organism that feeds on profit, right? So they're driven by profit, which is the bottom line, money. So they're willing to cut corners, or they're willing to be unscrupulous to gain profit. So like, say environmental damage, like gas companies, oil companies that are willing to drill for oil resources, and then you have the environmentalists that say you're destroying. How do we keep that in check without government or without law? How do we keep companies from not giving a fuck about anybody or anything so that they can drive profits higher? Do you think that the free market would eventually solve that as well? That maybe another company will do it responsibly?
I do.
And then
I have a lot of faith in the free market and the libertarian state of mind. They have something called the non-aggression principle.
Right. I like that.
NAP. It's simple. Don't, if you fuck with somebody, if I go to punch you, like, you have the right to basically kill the other. So maybe then that's extreme. There's a lot of funny ass memes about it. Like if somebody sneezes on you or whatever, you just show up to their house with an attack helicopter. But still, there's going to be courts. There is going to be laws.
Okay, so court system remains intact.
But it's all voluntary. You get to pay for these courts.
So what if somebody flees?
There's competition.
What if somebody flees retribution? What if somebody does something wrong and they don't want to go to court? You'd have to hire a private company to like go find that person, right?
I guess. Somebody fleeing retribution in the country.
So like that's what it comes down to for me with law enforcement. Like law enforcement is the bottom line. If somebody fucks with you, you can always go to, and it sucks, but it's like, the father figure of government to take care of you, because a lot of people can't defend themselves, so they rely on a police force to handle shit, right? And if it's privatized, then you have to pay for it, right? So like, how would that work? Like, what if somebody's broke?
That's what I just said earlier. Like, it would just be part of your bills. If you're broke, you're obviously in an apartment, right? It's just gonna be part of your bill. So I guess the property owners are solely responsible for that.
What if you're security. In
public?
And someone fucks with you and causes physical damage.
Like, I'm saying that incentive is going to be there. If you want it, it's going to exist.
Because it seems like money solves everything. So what if the other guy who fucks with you and you're broke has a shitload of money and he has his own private security? Right? Like, then he can afford better security than you can. Who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect your rights?
Sure. This goes to the feudalism argument. If government didn't exist, then you would just have warlords. Whatever. So what that really means is you just prefer the warlord that already exists. Like, my warlord's better.
Right.
Government.
That's what I see. Doesn't it turn into that anyway? He who has the dollars can pay for...
In a way, but again, corporations side with government. Government gives corporations like special... This is basically what fascism is when corporations are sided with government and government has full control of those corporations. And they can, silence whoever they want, etc., etc. But if it's all pure free market, then there's competition. And then, like I say, the non-aggression principle, you can easily just shut these people down. Oh, they're fucking with us? Boom. It's over. I guess a lot of people are confused. Oh, okay, if there's no government, what about military? It'd be the same thing. You'd have like probably 2 militaries, the way I see it. And they would be in competition with each other. So if you don't agree with one military and what they're doing, you don't fucking fund them. You don't pay for it. That's it.
Right. That's a crazy world. I don't even know what that would look like. It seems like governments keep corporations in check. And it seems like if there wasn't law or government, corporations would continue to grow and expand and create monopolies. Like the only reason
again, monopolies exist because of government. Like they create the laws that let them strive and exist for forever. Like patents is the perfect example. Like no one is even allowed to compete. Like they just have that monopoly because of a government law.
All right.
Scheissdreck. Oh shit, we're on the internet.
Getting it.
All right, sorry guys. I'm an anarchist. I don't like fucking government. I don't think we need rulers. Period. Sorry. A lot of you guys like to blame corporations on everything, and I think greed is great. Sorry, McDonald's is not gonna run your life. You don't let it. Don't pay for it.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to understand more about like how greed could be good. Because human nature is self-destructive. Human nature is to dominate others and overtake others. And it's just strange to me, like, if you let corporations grow without control.
Oh shit, Art and Lucius are en route. I just checked the chat.
Nice.
Sweet.
Beautiful. It's strange to me. So let me throw this to you. Like nature's a teacher, right? Nature's the best teacher. And we model a lot of the things we do off of nature. There's often hierarchies in nature. That's why you have like a head of household.
You can't, yeah, that's another Jordan Peterson thing. He talks about hierarchies. Like, you have to have them.
Right.
You have to have goals. You know what I'm saying? You have to strive to be better. You have to strive to win.
I once saw a tweet on Twitter about how like it should be a dictatorship within a household, and then as you expand outwards from a social system, it should be more and more liberal. To like globally, we should be anarchists, but like at the level of family, it's a dictatorship because head of household like commands everything within the house, right? And then like within your neighborhood, you have to cooperate with the people in your neighborhood for the common good. So there has to be some sort of give and take in leadership and governance.
Of course.
And then the larger you go, like nation states, you take more power away and you distribute power further. So it's like the greater the system goes, the less power should be concentrated. It's just...
Actually, Alex Jones talks about that a little bit. It's just... They talk about how the government's trying to take away God, family, country. Like, they just want total dependence on government.
The dissolution of the family, do you believe that? Like, that they actively attempt to break up family? Like, whoever's at the top?
I do.
The elitists?
Yeah, like with people, people like CPS and all this crap that exists, like they are. I do think they are trying to disillusion. I wish I had more facts to back that up right now, but I'm drinking.
Yeah, we're just shooting the shit, talking
for
ideas.
sure. They want government dependence. They don't give a shit about family. Like, I think it's becoming more apparent nowadays. Like, they don't want that God, family, country, like the three things.
Because I believe in the Tao, or no, not the Tao, the Hermetic principles, where as above, so below. So like, there's metaphors and reflections of larger systems that are true in smaller systems, and vice versa. So like, people are like atoms, and we coagulate into a family unit, which is like a molecule, and then molecules gather together into neighborhoods or cities to form a larger unit, and then those larger units form a state, and then those states form a country, and then everybody on the planet forms a planet, right? So it's like nested organisms, right? So
we
like
had the great idea of banding together and created the Council of Ricks. Sorry. For real though. I hear what you're saying, yeah.
So the dissolution of the family unit is like creating a weakness at the substrate of society, right? If the family unit is compromised, then everything else is compromised that's built on top of that socially. And I think that there is an active attempt to destroy the family.
Yes. It's just, it boils down to one thing for me, is dependence on government. Like, leftists want to freak at me because I say the word socialist, but Social Security is a socialist program. And the only real drawback of that program is dependence on government. This could easily exist with free market. Easily. Like what? Like 401k I think is like free market, but whatever, I don't know shit because I'm a young guy. And I have a shitty job.
I know that Social Security is most likely a Ponzi scheme because like the population continues to increase, but because of the dissolution of the middle class, the amount of people that contribute to Social Security is shrinking, but the amount of people that need to take out Social Security is growing. So it's like eventually we will not be able to sustain the system, and the amount of workers that are producing labor aren't going to be able to pay into the system enough to care for the elderly. The whole thing's fucked up. I don't know what the right system is.
That's why I feel like I stand firm these days. Like, I feel less confused. The more I talk about getting rid of government, I feel like I'm less confused. Like, what's going on? Is it left? Who's right? Who's wrong? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All the government's fucking wrong. The way I see it, just get rid of all of it.
I agree that the system we have now is bullshit, but like I was telling you before, I think that the state of the evolution of the human species currently is not evolved enough to not have a government. I feel like if we don't have that check there, we're going to eat each other alive. Because people who are willing to take advantage of others will always do so. And if there's not anything keeping them in check, they're going to take over. There's always a force trying to take an advantage over innocent.
Exactly. And that's us at our best right now. Us libertarians educating and talking about it. Here we are. I'm on the internet talking about it.
Yeah.
Spread the ideas.
That's why I'm a proponent of psychedelics, because I think the main issue is like the individual. If the individual's consciousness is only so far, they're not going to make good decisions, and they're easily manipulatable. And like the 80% are dumb as shit. 80% of people are zombies walking around not knowing what the fuck the deal is. They don't think for themselves. TV tells them what to buy. TV tells them what to think. They have no sovereignty. They have no mental sovereignty. So the issue is like the individual. We have to get down to like the unit. We have to fix the unit, which is the person.
Yeah, and that's why I think they want to get rid of that. Again, libertarianism is personal. Do whatever you want, what the fuck you want with your body, and they're trying to get rid of that totally. Like, again, it goes back to family and all that.
I'm gonna get another beer. Time out.
Oh shit! Oh, this is an awkward date.
I'll be right.
Hey guys. I make lots of money. Just kidding. I'm broke as fuck. Ah shit. I guess I do have a SoundCloud, huh? You can check out Mr. Normal on SoundCloud. Take the beats, rap over them. Feel freestyle is the motto. Do what you want. I'm gonna wave my hands because I'm making a point. Ugh.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Bam.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so all this shit is very interesting to me. I never used to really think about it. I know that I've always been interested in sovereignty, personal sovereignty. Growing up, we don't like rules. We don't like restrictions. But to some degree, limitations on freedom build some type of understanding, right? You can't go... There's always a feedback of all your actions. Like if you get fucked up all the time, there's a negative repercussion that feeds back into the system. So like parents impose rules on children because they don't know better. Their children are free and they will act according to personal will. So restrictions do in some way, sense or form, have to be imposed on growing minds because they don't know better. But then once we get to adulthood, we should be free to do anything. So I think the problem is our education system. We don't have enough intelligence in society to know what's good for us and know what's right and know what's wrong. So I think a big part of fixing what we're doing in today's age is educating the youth better. But it's the blind leading the blind because you have stupid people having kids. And so they can't teach them anything useful.
Yeah,
then they go into
people
the...
having kids are the ones that shouldn't have them.
The ones who shouldn't have them have the most kids. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh well.
Right? Well, that's what
that's us at our best. Educate.
That's what fucks up society. But see, the other side of that, the flip side of that, is that I think that there is a nefarious attempt to create that lack of education. They don't want us to fix society. They don't want us to cooperate.
Well, there's actually been a counter against homeschooling. They're actually trying to shut that shit down now. Like that's another EU thing. They definitely don't want that going on. They don't want you trying to school your own kids.
Yeah.
They want the government to be your daddy and your mommy and fucking show you the ways.
Which
of
is
the world.
useless, as I said earlier. Like I don't even know how taxes work really. Like I need an in-depth because taxes is like a convoluted field. Like you have to go to school for a long time to understand taxes and to be able to do taxes for other people. How do they expect the individual to fucking file taxes?
They don't even show you how to make a resume in high school. What the fuck?
When there's a threat of jail, when there's a threat of freedom for not paying your taxes correctly. If you're gonna jail me,
Yeah, exactly, man.
tell me when I'm going through your education system how this shit works.
That's what I love about the law. I love about you cops.
It's another thing.
They don't fucking want to tell you the law.
Exactly.
They don't want you to know that shit.
Are we ever educated in...
Didn't you know that was illegal, idiot? Oh, yeah, we're so stupid and you're not.
Because you know how they give a phone book? Or not now, but like back in the day, they used to deliver a phone book to everybody. Why don't we have...
They're going out of business because of the internet.
Yeah, totally. But I'm just saying, like, they were willing to distribute an index of contacts, but they wouldn't distribute a pamphlet of laws.
Right.
Like, you're not going to tell me what's illegal and what's legal?
Yeah, in recent years, I've taken upon me to, like, call. Like, since you mentioned the phone book, I've actually called lawyers or called insurance people. Like, yo, I don't know how the hell to deal with this and that. And they'll tell you. You just got to take it upon yourself.
Yeah, but... True, and I am and I will, but it's just like not everybody knows to go out of their way to go learn something that they don't know.
And I do learn a lot of things the hard way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's why society's fucked up. That's why society is fucked up. It's a vicious cycle. It looks like we're in a period of transformation though. It looks like the internet has rapidly expanded both education and lack of education because we're distracted more. But literacy is at an all-time high. Like only 100 years ago, I bet less than half of the planet was literate. So now everybody's literate. So now we can communicate at least through words. So we're barely still moving through that. And it's all thanks to the internet and communication channels. So like, hopefully IQ is rising. I don't want to come into an idiocracy future where we're just distracted.
Kind of believed it was the opposite. So all these memes and ebonics and all this crap. It's almost like nobody cares to speak literate anymore. But no, I could see some truth to that. I guess it's weird that women now are striving more in universities and education than men. Kind of a role reversal.
It seems like little by little we're eradicating our wrongs, which is social justice warrior culture, which is negative, but there is some positives in it because we're pointing out things that are wrong with us, right? Like the Me Too movement and giving women more opportunities in different areas. Not that all of that is real or true, or the income gap is like a valid point. Not that that's the case, but there is something to be said about a light being shown on our progress, because it started, we had slaves not too long ago, and then we gave people personal liberty, and then we don't give a fuck about women, and then little by little women get rights, and then we don't give a fuck about animals, and then little by little we correct that and we learn to mistreat animals less, right?
Wait, we had slaves?
Not us,
I'm
but
kidding.
Just as we move through time, we correct what's wrong. It's a self-correcting program.
Voluntarism. I just had to throw that out there.
So yeah, check out voluntarism. Where do you see us going in the future? What do you think the future holds? Is it dark or is it light?
Fantastic question, because I keep looking at it. I'm always trying to follow it, and I think a part of me feels it is dark, because I don't think people are ever going to really abandon this idea of, voting and statism and all that. Keep government help me, like I said. It's just going to keep going that way. I don't think in my lifetime anybody's going to abandon that.
You don't think so?
And I think it's turning more,
I think the
socialist and more like dependence on the government. I think that's a little sad.
Yeah.
Like, what? You think you can't survive without it? Come on, man.
Well, look at minimum wage. People can't live on minimum wage.
Yeah, that's a great argument, because I don't know what to think about that. Like, that's perfect Andrew Yang thing. Oh, you want to raise the minimum wage? Well, we're just gonna get robots to do your job,
right?
Like, what's gonna happen with that shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
I mean, that's what I'm saying with, like, because I don't know where I stand on universal basic income. I don't know if it's a bad idea or a good idea. I know that if the government has control of it, it's not a good idea. But let me tell you this, some of the Bitcoin people, they're in favor of it because they think it's going to collapse the system. Mm-hmm. They're in favor.
On Twitter, actually.
Yeah, so they're rooting for Andrew Yang.
Go ahead. Vote
because
for the collapse.
Once he gives the $1,000 a month,
accelerate the decline.
Once he gives the $1,000 a month to everybody, they're just going to buy Bitcoin, which is going to devalue the dollar and increase the price of Bitcoin. And if you have thousands of people buying Bitcoin off of the $1,000 a month, it's just pushing the system towards collapse faster, which is what they want. They want the Bitcoin standard. So they're like, yes, okay, this guy's talking nonsense. He wants to collapse the system. We're behind him because it's going to take us to where we want to go faster.
Fucking UBI. Ugh.
So I can see like where it's bad if the government is in control of it, but
sick of government being in control of anything.
Because you could do a smart contract.
Why do you keep taking my tax money?
Yeah, taxes are bullshit.
Involuntarily.
Taxes are bullshit. I think we should have a clear breakdown of where our money is going. every cent should be accounted for, and the public should be able to see publicly where every cent is going for. And if we don't like where the money is going, we should be able to vote those people out who made those decisions. That's a big fucking problem.
It's true. I don't think it's totally like masked. Like everybody keeps crying about Trump's wall. And
Like
I'm
the defense
you
shit.
know how much money's going to these fucking wars right now?
That's what I'm saying.
That's cool. That's totally fine. But Trump's wall's bad.
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
So like the defense industry, selling missiles, building weapons to sell to other countries. What the fuck is that?
I think your homeboys here. Yeah. Lucio and Art. What the fuck is going on here?
Well, let's finish this. Let's just like final thoughts.
Sure.
Selling military shit to other countries that are just going to be used to murder. That's an industry. Profit is being made there, right? And that's from tax dollars. I have a problem with that. I should be able to vote where my tax dollars go. Because right now they just take tax
Vote
dollars.
with your money.
No, taxation. They choose what fucking happens with the tax money.
Taxation's fucked.
What if I don't want my
do
tax
what
dollars?
they want. They take it. They straight take it.
And they choose where it goes, and all of it goes to military. What if I want a bunch of the tax dollars to go towards building shit in America, like restoration of natural lands, shit like that?
And you should have the choice.
But we don't. What does it go to? Increasing power, building another military base elsewhere. You and me are paying for that.
Scheißdreck nochmal.
Well, that was a good chat.
Uber ideological nonsense.
I liked picking Chris's brain for a little bit. Any final thoughts? Any final words for anybody that may see this? If you die tomorrow, what do you want people to know?
That I love you. And then God is out there if you look for him. And fuck the government. That's it.
I'll say buy Bitcoin, study social systems, study protocols. I'm doing my best to understand what cryptocurrency is going to do for social systems, because it's using math to replace people. And I think that that's really smart, because people are flawed. And if we rely on people, we'll always be let down. But if we rely on math, we have a chance. So research that. This was a good episode. Let's see when the next one is. You want to drop your social?
Shit, MasterWank69 on Twitter if you want to hit me up. Be annoyed by me.
And check out at Cthulhu on Instagram. And share, like, and subscribe. Have fun.